Oh my God. Let me show you what I got. This beat is so hot. Oh my God.
Is that bullshit?
I think not.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome into the Candy Shop Fantasy Football Podcast, a part of the Fantasy Six Pack Audio Network. I'm your host, Dylan Clemens. Here with me, like always, is the candy to this shop, the Mike and Ikes themselves, Michael Plant and Ike Bonnie. Fellas, how you doing on this beautiful Friday?
Not too bad. Just being harassed behind the scenes.
Great.
Yes,
Great
I'm gonna
start.
call you
Great
out.
start.
I won't say what it's about, but it was. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what wasn't a great start though was the football game and to the start of the fantasy football week, unless you're a Javonte Williams owner who started.
And the Broncos defense.
Who I'm assuming nobody started.
Javonte
Yeah, right.
and the Broncos defense. I had to start in one league.
Oh my God.
Love it. I started Javonte in a dynasty league, so it's deep, but yeah, I started him
Fantasy
too.
football.
Yeah, if you're in like a 10-team league and you saw Javonte on your bench drop 20, you're like,
I was
we've
contemplating sitting in from Jalen Warren, and I'm like, oh man, I just can't do it.
But
I'm great.
we've already spent too much time on this game. What I really want to get your guys' thoughts on is, let me ask you this question. If you're driving home late at night one night and Jay Cutler hits you with his car and he offers you $2,000 to not call the police.
We're off to a great start.
You taking the money or are you calling the
fuck
cops?
yeah.
It's $2,000.
$2,000. He offered the person $2,000, I guess.
How bad did he hit him?
I'm taking the money. I'll ask for a picture too.
I don't know the context.
Like, let's be real here. Like, if this is just like, a little fender bender, just, he kind of tapped him, at maybe 5 miles an hour backing up, take the $2,000 and run. Anything worse? No, you can't do that, man.
No.
Hospital bills are going to be asinine.
I'm taking the money and running.
I'm taking money and running, bro.
Especially for my guy, Jay Cutler, but man.
Yeah.
Albert and Clayton, I know you guys are here in the chat. I want to hear your guys' thoughts if you missed it. If Jay Cutler hits you with his car and offers you $2,000 not to call the cops,
I'll probably ask him to go
He's
hang
also
out,
drunk.
to be honest.
He's also drunk.
Yo, bro, you want to go drink some brewskis some more?
Not to make light of a DUI or anything. Obviously, that's not ideal. He is also in possession of a gun. But it's my guy, Jay Cutler. Though.
Everybody has a gun now, man. Come on.
Just lightly sprinkle that in there. Also in the possession of a gun.
Yeah, not ideal. But everyone, before we get started, I want to remind everyone: please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Then head on over to fantasy6pack.net/plans to become an all-access member for just $9.99 a month. You get access to our award-winning rankings, draft cheat sheets. I know fantasy basketball starts. The NBA season starts on Tuesday, so I'm getting ready for that myself. You also get access to our F6P Discord, where that gives you custom league advice from everybody on the F6P staff, plus direct access to the DFS team. The Keith Flemings of the world, the Chris Robin, the Dave Eddy. Those are the guys who are going to make your money on Sundays. And guys, it's just a small fee of $9.99 a month. Like, skip out on Starbucks for a week or something. Like, you've already paid for your subscription easily. You'll make your money back from the DFS stuff. I promise you. Our guys are proven. They know what they're doing. It truly is good stuff. Once again, that's fantasy6pack.net/plans. Jamie, what's going on, man? But guys, let's go ahead and jump into our sweet and sour picks. And for anybody new here, just want to remind everyone, our sweet picks are somebody the boys think that's going to absolutely smash this week, could win you your fantasy matchup, and sour play is someone we do not want to start if you have a better option. So jumping right into it, bye weeks, just 2 this week, fellas. We got the Bears on bye and the Dallas Cowboys on bye. I'm pretty happy with our Bears heading 4-2 into the bye with a pretty premier matchup against the Washington Commanders next week, who the NFL actually flexed into the afternoon game. So that'll be fun.
I saw that.
Yep. But jumping into the Sunday games, we got the New England Patriots taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's another London game. Boys, the The Jaguars just stayed over in London for the weekend. If they lose this game, Doug Peterson may be staying over there for a while. The Pats are getting 6 points here. The game total 41.5. A little bit more points Vegas is thinking here. I didn't expect to see that game total that high. But Ike, I'm going to kick it to you to start here, man. Who do you love in this matchup? And feel like this is a hard one kicking it off because this game is ugly.
Last I saw, Ramondre is out. Or at least that's what it was to my ESPN app. He was projected 0 points. So I would go Tank Bigsby because Travis Etienne is also dealing with some shit. So if they want to get the run game going, there's no one else better than Tank Bigsby. So he's also been playing well too.
Yeah, he got shut down a little bit by the Bears defense last week.
But that
wasn't anything to write home about. It was an ugly game plan for the Jaguars, and their wide receivers' hands didn't work, to be honest with you. It wasn't great stuff. Mike, we'll kick it to you here. Who do you got here? Who do you love in this matchup? The Patriots Jaguars game.
All right. Hot take. It's Drake May. You can start him this week. I mean, this is, at least for me, becoming a slander Mahomes, show. Drake May's first NFL start last week, he finished as QB 12. Can you tell me Mahomes last time he finished as a QB 12?
Against Chargers.
Nope. Week 12 last year against the Raiders. Good try though.
Fuck.
So Drake May's first start, he's already been a better fantasy QB than Mahomes. And I know that's just for fun, for context or whatnot. Still, it's a good start, good showing out there. This week, though, he's got the number one best matchup for QBs. 25.8 points a game allowed to QBs for the Jags. Through 6 weeks, the Jags defense has allowed a QB to finish as QB 11 or better. Yes, Deshaun Watson finishes a QB 1 against the Jaguars. He was QB 11. Joe Flacco, QB4. And last week, your boy, Caleb Williams, QB1. So give me Drake May. I think it's a sweet play for him this week.
Key the North.
I'm talking about Drake May here, not Caleb Williams.
Mike, we'll stick with you, man. Who don't you love? Who are you sour on this week? Who do you hate?
Trevor Lawrence, opposite side of the pond here. Patriots are ninth toughest matchup for QBs. Jags wide receivers, like you said, keep dropping touchdowns. Brian Thomas, Christian Kirk. Who was the third one that did it?
Gabe Davis.
Gabe Davis, thank you.
He dropped two.
He dropped two.
Still caught two. It was weird.
Yeah, so I just
had 4.
There's something wrong here with this offense. I mean, obviously, doing the training camp reports with the Jags beat reporter, this offensive line is not meshed together, and through 6 games, it still hasn't. Lawrence has finished 1 of 6 games as a top 12 QB. 5 of 6, he's finished QB 16 or worse. I fear it's one of those weeks.
Mm-hmm. Gary's probably thinking in his head, if he's still listening, man, that slap in Vegas was worth it. So the Trevor Lawrence stuff. But Ike, we'll kick it to you, man. Who are you out on this week? Who don't you like?
I have to agree with LaPlante. You can't trust Lawrence right now in, honestly, most leagues. There's a lot of players you should probably start over him. I mean, other than that week or 2 weeks ago where he played fine, I guess. But other than that, it's been brutal.
Yeah, Gary said way worth it here.
It's rent-free in my mind, Gary. I swear to God. It was fantastic.
Before we hop in this game, though, Albert's got a question. BTJ or Tank Dell half-point PPR? Nico Collins still on IR, obviously.
Tank.
I mean, I know we were at first this season, we were a little bit weary on the Christian Gonzalez shadow, but he's been bad as of late. And I kind of like Brian Thomas, man, here. But I'm going to lean Tank Dell here. I think we're going to get a much cleaner, much prettier, a lot more points scored in that game. So give me that. Give me Tank Dell. I just think he has a higher ceiling because of that. What are you thinking, Mike?
Yeah. Give me Tank Dell in a game I will be attending, Albert. So I'll be rooting for you. That will be fun. Give me Tank Dell on that one.
Hopefully it's not too cold for you there.
Back to the Jay Cutler thing. Gary says if he's going to pay $2,000, he'd pay $3,000.
Then he'd pay 4 and he'd pay 5.
He said he'd pay me a little bit more than that. Love it. from Kyle here. Love or Cousins? I'll start there. I think that one's. Look, give me Jordan Love.
Cousins.
I'm gonna go Jordan Love. Cousins on the road, right? No, he's at home too. Ooh.
I'm going Cousins.
Mike, where are you going? Let me think on this.
That one's a tough one, man, because Love's hard to gauge. Like he's got a high touchdown rate. You know, he's well above the league average of 4.5% touchdowns per passing attempts. So and he's under 60% completion, or he's around there. So it's hard to gauge there. I think the safer play is Kirk Cousins, because that game with Seattle, there's going to be a lot of passing volume there. So you're just safer with the attempts with Cousins, but I still think Love offers you the higher ceiling because we've seen what we can get from him on those 4 touchdowns.
I would also like to see what happens with the weather too, because they're at Green Bay, right?
They are at Green Bay, and Cousins is in a dome where it's going to be, like I said, just safer. It's going to be easier to throw. I mean, Tariq Woolen.
I know tomorrow it's supposed to be warm.
It is supposed to be good. I looked at the weather since we're going to it. It's 70 is the high, but I did not see any rain. But Cousins, I think, is just like Tariq Woolen for the Seahawks. He's probably not going to play. They just got Devin Witherspoon back there. Their D line is a little beat up. It's not in shambles. So I think I actually take Cousins in that one.
All right, I'm gonna stay Love here. You drafted him as your QB1. I'm gonna hold tough here and keep going with Love here. Kyle says, "Love you guys long time," and he likes it, sub, man. Well, dude, I love you long time too. Yeah, we definitely appreciate you. That's great. Next game here, we're jumping right into it, guys. We're jumping into that Seattle Seahawks Atlanta Falcons game. Seahawks getting 3 on the road after a 3-0 start. They are now 3-3. Game total 51.5. A lot of points to be scored in this one. Mike, we'll start with you. Who do you love or who do you hate? Let you take the floor with it, whatever one you want to talk about first.
I don't like the way you rotate back and forth. Find a different way, but I'm going to go ahead here. My sweet player is like my sweetest player is Geno Smith, but I love the pass catchers in this matchup, like I said, because there's a lot of passing volume here. DK, JSN, Lockett. Geno has the huh? No, Lockett's playing. He's not, no, I saw it. He's on my team. I made sure the questionable tag was lifted as of today with the practice, so you don't have to worry about Lockett. Unfortunately, you still got to start Noah Braun. Geno Smith has the most passing attempts in the NFL, and believe it or not, he leads the league in passing yards. Yet he is 20th in passing touchdowns with 6. And like I said, we'd like to slander Mahomes here. It's the same as Mahomes right now.
No, not we. You like to slander Mahomes here. Don't put me with you.
I like to lump you in with me. I'm going to.
No.
So, I was just talking about, Love's well above the league average. Geno Smith is well below the league average of that 4.5%. He's at 2.4. So, he's just due for some, regression here. He hasn't had a game yet with 2 passing touchdowns. I think this is the first one. Falcons are 9th best matchup for QBs. So, their secondary is not as good as we thought they were with the Falcons.
Mm-mm. Yeah, no, it hasn't all come together back there for them yet either. That's for sure. I could kick it to you. Who do you feel here? Who you like?
Did you do sweet or sour, LaPlante?
I did sweet.
I'd have to go Kirk Cousins. He's kind of on a tear right now. He seems to be feeling the Atlanta vibe. I like it. He seems to be going with it.
Kirk change, you mean?
Unless you have a top 5, 8 quarterback, I'd be starting Kirk Cousins. I like him.
I'm with you. It's a good matchup for him, man. But I don't know. I'm having trouble trusting him a little bit. I'm not sure why. I just feel like he's a little bit too streaky.
Each week he's looking a little better coming off the Achilles.
He is.
And that's why I'm a little bit surprised, though, that neither of you guys went Bijan Robinson here in this matchup because Seattle without Byron Murphy has.
We're playing each other in fantasy.
Everybody has to play
saying
Bijan if you have him. I don't think he can win you a week, and I don't think he can lose you a week right now. So
yeah, he's the low hanging fruit, and me and I can play in each other in fantasy this week. So we're staying the hell away from our players. We don't want to jinx each other, reverse jinx each other, whatever the hell it is.
Absolute smash it. But I'll stay with you here. Who's your?
I don't like that you say that, Dylan. I don't like that you say that. So
thank
you, for that, I don't like it.
Sour pick. Gonna be
I don't
Drake
like
London
it.
now?
No, I think Drake London would be fine.
Just
I think the sour pick, because I kind of think he's getting phased a little bit out of the offense is Tyler Lockett. Sorry, LaPlante, you have to start him. But I think DK Metcalf and JSN are the top 2 target getters in the offense. And I think even the running back is a better option than Tyler Lockett right now because Walker got tons of targets last week, Charbonnet as well. So I don't know. I kind of feel like Lockett's kind of getting phased out of the offense a little bit for Seattle since more talent's coming around.
Yeah, JSN's just coming around as a whole. They've been using him more. Is there any more player in the NFL more frustrating than DK Metcalf? He's just a freak of an athlete, makes awesome plays, deep play threat. And then he's just
I honestly think JSN might be better than DK for the rest of the year, just because he is more. He can do more things than DK.
That's slanderous.
DK is a specific player where
he's
if
getting
you need a deep
called
ball,
back by the refs, guys, give him a break.
Why don't DK catch up high with his hands? He's such a big dude, and I feel like he's always catching everything here. Too big, Ike?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, too thick. I don't get it either. He's a weird player, but yeah.
He is an interesting player where he should be able to dominate, but he just can't for some reason.
Yeah, I hear that. He's such an interesting guy. Mike, we'll kick it to you. Close out this game. Who are you sitting in this really good matchup?
I didn't really want to say anybody, but I'm going to choose someone anyways. It's Ken Walker. Atlanta's the 7th toughest matchup for running backs. Back-to-back weeks now, Ken Walker has gotten 8 targets, and did you know he has more receiving yards, 94, than rushing yards, 51 in those past 2 games. He's averaging 2.7 yards per carry, and it's not going to get any better against Atlanta. And I feel like this is me personally when I was watching, these past 2 games for the Seahawks, they're dumping it off to Ken Walker because of pressure. Atlanta's got no pass rush. 10 sacks through 6 games, 26 worse in the NFL. There's going to be no need to dump it off to Ken Walker, I feel like, this week. Maybe he's got 4 receptions in his bag, 4 targets, 4 receptions. But I just don't see it being an efficient day on the ground, and Ken Walker's going to disappoint you. You got to start him, but he's going to disappoint you.
All right. I don't have a whole lot of pushback there for you. We got a couple questions here from Gary. Mahomes or Geno? I'm assuming you're going Geno, Mike. I already told him. So this is a question for you too. But yes, it's Geno. I'm gonna go Mahomes. Like, where are you going here?
Well, I mean, he's playing Juju and Kelsey, so
that's why. Yeah, that's why
not playing Mahomes doesn't make sense to me. So,
but why? Why are you playing Mahomes? You know he's not going to finish as a QB1. The top.
You don't know anything, Mike. Stop saying
you don't know for sure that he's going to finish as that.
He threw for 330 yards last week and didn't throw a touchdown.
I'm sticking.
But if you're playing,
I'm going to stick this hand on the top of your bald head here in a second.
You trust the Kansas City offense, so why not trust the quarterback over a dude in Seattle? Do you trust the weapons
of the Kansas City offense, though?
He's playing 2 guys from Kansas City. You have to play him. I'm sorry. You have to.
No, I mean, he's playing 2 guys from Kansas City because he has to play those 2 guys. He don't have to play Mahomes.
But if those 2 guys succeed, Mahomes is the reason why, which just gives him bonus points. That's why I would pick Mahomes.
You need more context to it to see who he's starting, why he's starting Juju over the other players. Travis Kelce, he has to start at the tight end.
Yeah, obviously you start him.
Thank you, Jamie.
He knows the future. Fucking goon. I hope Fantasy Receipts is listening and clip that. Patrick Mahomes, he
If I'm
won't
wrong,
finish
I'm
as
wrong.
top 12 quarterback.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But it's week 12 last year.
Mike, if you hate Mahomes
Week
so
12
much,
last year.
you need
I
to
don't
start
hate him.
you need to start betting on his unders, though. You need to start betting on his unders.
Yeah,
if you think
come
he's
on.
gonna stink
Put your
every.
Can I
money where
bet-
your
can
mouth
I-
is, bro.
Can I bet on his fantasy point unders? Because that's all I'm talking about.
think
when
on
I am
Underdog
talking
you
about
can.
hating
Yeah, underdog,
Mahomes.
you absolutely can. Same
That's
thing
the
with
only thing I'm talking
sleeper
about.
underdog. You both can. But back to the questions here,
I'll
guys.
go find what his fantasy.
I
is.
just
Go
think
ahead.
that if you play both Juju and Kelsey, you're banking on the Kansas City offense. So why not go with the quarterback of the Kansas City offense?
Well,
my
next
argument
question.
was-
Nope.
Okay.
Next question here. Should I play
Tyler,
Kyler
Pat,
Murray
eat
or
shit.
go stream maybe May, Rodgers, Gino, Mike? We'll kick it to you first since you liked Drake May in this matchup. But are
I'd take
you
the
willing
lower on
to
Mahomes.
start him? Would you take Rodgers? Would you take Gino here over Kyler Murray?
I'd take the lower on Mahomes. They're giving him 18.35. But that's I'm going here. I'd play Murray. I have to trust. No, man, I'm thinking about it. No, because we had what's his face? I can't remember. Mark Shope. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your last name, Mark. But he was on the show last night with Joe, and I had May against Mahomes. And they all said that they would start Mahomes, but Mark said that he would actually start Drake May over all those other players. So like I think I go May over Murray just for this week if you really want to reach for some ceiling. But the safest play is Murray. He's going to get you rushing yards.
Dude, I'm
not.
going Rodgers, man. I think
You got
I don't know why. You don't have to trust me, but I think Rodgers has a weird game this year where he finally goes over 300 yards. Him and Devontae connect for multiple touchdowns. It's the game,
I
man.
take back my answer.
It's his.
It's
How
Gino.
Are we gonna do,
It's
how
Gino.
are we gonna? I was gonna
It's
thank
Gino
you.
now,
Thank you.
apparently.
Thank
Answer's
you
Gino.
for
The
switching.
answer's Gino.
Thank you for switching to Gino.
I
because
was
that's the right
re-rating.
answer. That's
It's
the right
Gino.
answer.
Daniel, that's the right answer. It's Gino. Sorry about that one. We were just filibustering.
Going after, would you play Gino in a single entry contest? I'm okay going with some sort of Seattle stack and playing Gino. He's pretty decently priced.
That's
in
cash
DK.
game, right? Single entry would be like a cash
similar to an extent, but there's still single entry big tournaments too. Obviously it's just one entry.
If
There's
it's
just
a
so
big
many other better quarterbacks that you can play. So no, I wouldn't.
If it's a big tournament, Gino is probably going to be one of the most popular. I was listening to a couple DFS guys from the fantasy footballers, and Gino's probably going to be one of those high owned because of the matchup, because of the volume, because of the value of his price. So if you're doing the contest, and you're trying to stay away from the high, avoid. But if it's cash, just a single entry cash or something low volume, it's Gino.
Here we got Chris here in the comments. Chris,
yeah,
if, you can help us out. You're our DFS guy over at F6P. We got a question here. If you could answer it for us here in the comments, would you play Geno Smith in a single entry contest?
He's got him in the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah,
love it, Chris.
Fuck that guy.
All right.
If you want access to Chris, DM him on Discords. On the Discord channel, you got to get a membership, guys. He can help you out with your DFS lineups. He helps us out, just like he did on this podcast. We're not on the same page right now, Dylan.
No, we're not. Way too many clicks. Next game we got here.
What
on the
are you
dock,
guys
we got
doing?
Tennessee tight. We're having fun.
He's not letting me be the producer. That's what he's doing.
I'm just trying to help you out here, man. We got Tennessee Titans
Thanks.
taking on the Buffalo Bills. This line surprised me a little bit. Pretty big one here. We'll do a little bit of shout out to Bill Simmons here. Guess the line. How much do you guys think the Bills are favored here in this one?
3.5.
No, it's probably like 8, 9.
Good.
8.
Guess, like 9.5.
What?
It's the Bills versus Will Levis.
They're gonna smash.
I don't care. The Bills have looked not great either. So
the last few weeks. Game total 41 here, so not a ton of offense. They're not seeing in this one. Probably they're assuming a lot of running game, which I would assume Tony Pollard, James Cook, hopefully back in this one. return to practice this week. Ike, we'll kick it to you here. Sour, sweet, whatever you want to do here, man.
Hey, Chris even thinks that Gino's going to have his first 2 touchdown game of the year as well.
That's what he's got him projected at. Love it.
Yep.
Good deal.
I mean, that's fine.
I bought you some more time, Mike. Go ahead.
And give
I'm
you too
not
many
really
options
sure
here.
on this one.
The right answer is Tony Pollard. You want me to answer for
come
you?
on. Yeah, come on. The answer is Tony
I
Pollard
mean,
for your sweet
just
player.
because Tajay Spears is out doesn't mean it's Tony Pollard.
Bills are susceptible.
No, it is.
I said it, Mike. I said it. Susceptible against the run, man. So I'm
they've allowed the 10th most rushing yards in the NFL. That's good. Bills are the second best matchup for running backs in fantasy points per game. That's really good. They're one of 2 teams allowing 30 plus points to fantasy to running backs. That's stupendous. And last 4 weeks, Tony Pollard's been RB 16. Lock him in for a top 12 RB finish this week.
I can't wait till he finishes outside of top 12.
The game script could go squirrely here with a 9.5 point line that Vegas has. But Mike, I'm all over that. I'm with you. I think that's exactly the right answer. Ike, do you got someone you hate though, man? We'll keep it with you here.
Is James Cook playing?
He is.
James Cook is
expected.
He's expected to play, and Ray Davis is not looking like he's going to play.
He's the one who's actually trending in the opposite direction. Even he had an awesome game last week. It's great to see for.
That's an interesting running back situation. You probably gotta play James Cook, but if you're in a league where like you can bench him, I'd probably think about doing that just because you don't know what's going on with him right now. He could be.
Gary, he says hate Levis, but we love love.
No, we love Levis, man. He gives us memes every week, man. That's our guy.
He definitely gives us fantasy points to our defenses when you stream the opposing defenses against them. So you love that. Michael, kick it to you here. Who are you out on in this Bills Titans matchup? What you got?
Brody, I know you're watching, and this isn't against you. It's just a 1 week thing. Amari Cooper. I've been talking to him about Amari Cooper, and I think this is really good for him, but just not for the first week. You know, you got less than a full week of practice with the team. You know, he's never caught passes from Josh Allen before. You know as well as I do that there's a chemistry here, and this is why, foreshadow to the Jets-Steelers game, why we like Devontae Adams. But there's just no chemistry here yet. He's probably going to be limited as far as like the packages they're going to be putting out is what I've been seeing for the reports. Tennessee is the number 1 toughest on wide receivers, only allowing 23.2 fantasy points per game. Like, don't hear what I'm not saying. Start them over garbage, but sit them over solid options.
All right. No, I'm good with that. I like Albert's point here. Bill's defense should be the sweet play. Yeah. Will Levis has given you one a game at least, man. It's been so bad. And I don't even really understand why, guys. The offense should be better. You got a better offensive-minded head coach in there. Like, there was a reel that was going around I saw this week of Will Levis just chucking the ball all over the place last season. And he doesn't even look remotely like the same guy anymore. Like, he's having passes just flutter, interceptions. It really has just been bad. It's not good. But moving on to the next game, guys, we got the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Cleveland Browns. Bengals favored by 6 points on the road, game total of 41.5. Give me all the Bengals here, guys. Michael Platt, we'll start with you here. Who are you in this game?
All right, I'm taking a cop out on this one. I love I'm actually kind of a little opposite. I like all the Bengals pass catchers in this one. Cleveland's defense has not been great. I know, Joe Burrow has struggled against Cleveland. This could be probably his best game he has against Cleveland. Their defense is not the same. The morale is not the same with Deshaun Watson still starting. So I do like all the pass catchers. Give me T. Higgins. Give me Jamar Chase for a stellar day. And I think Joe Burrow, it's not going to, it's going to be like a creeping maybe like QB9 to QB10 type of finish for him.
All right. I don't love that you're saying you like his receivers, but you don't like the quarterback.
Well, no, I do. It's like the thing is I think it's going to be a 3-touchdown game for Burrow, but just a low yardage game. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm not with you, but I'm with you. Ike, what do you got?
I'm just gonna completely skip this week because he said Joe Burrow and his pass catchers and go to sour because the sour is Joe Burrow.
I know.
Because against Cleveland in his past 4 games, he is averaging 10 fantasy points per game. He has yet to reach a quarterback 1 finish in his past 4 games against Cleveland. So I don't know. Maybe that was past defenses because I know Cleveland's defense isn't as good as it was last year. So it could be different, but based off trends, I don't really want to start Joe Burrow right now.
I hear you. When's this defense going to quit? I mean, I know they've been keeping the Browns in games to an extent, but this offense is just so bad that I feel like that locker room's going to fracture at some point here before they need to make a quarterback change. I like that for Brody there calling you guys out.
Well, I mean, the low-hanging fruit's Deshaun Watson.
As a sour play, yeah, Deshaun Watson shouldn't be started anywhere. And it's but who's your sour play? Who do you got?
My sour play is in Zach. I know you're not watching, but it's Nick Chubb. I get it, the hype behind Nick Chubb. I'm happy for him as a human to human, but let's be real here. It's a multi-ligament injury he's coming back from. It's a limited workload. He can squat 500 pounds all he wants. It's not taking a hit in football. There's a difference between being in football shape and just being in shape. I need to see it for 1 week and decide, then if I'm going to be starting him in my lineup. Like, if I had to start Nick Chubb or like Christian Watson, who saw 4 targets and got a touchdown last week and is pretty boom or bust, give me Christian Watson. I just got to see it 1 week from Chubb first.
Yeah, I hear you. And this offensive line is nowhere near the offensive line that he was running in front of. That was in front of him the previous years either.
And he don't have the quarterback he had
before either. They don't have the quarterback exactly. No, I agree. If you've waited this long for Nick Chubb, but he's gonna have to. I would wait a little bit longer to use him. I agree. There, we got another question here. Do we like in Adams anytime touchdown? Penning the odds? What you're getting back? I'm definitely okay with that, man.
It's probably not good odds, though. I'm sure Vegas is keen on it, just like we are.
And then we got Dion here. Love or Stroud, both are on my fantasy football team. Who would you go here?
Love. Yeah, I actually will go Love in that situation. It's a better matchup for wide receivers and QBs on the Houston side of things than it is for the Green Bay side of things. It's just easier to run against Green Bay, which is why I kind of, I'm high on Mixon this week. But I still think, you're going to get, some good, days from a good day from Dell and Diggs. I just don't think it's going to be like a boom week.
I hear that. I agree. Going here.
I agree.
All right. Love it there. And everyone, if we're helping you out, help us out too, guys, by hitting that like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And then if you guys don't know too, we run a start sit show on Sunday mornings, the Sunday social as well, starting at 10:30 Eastern time. So make sure to tune
you
in
find a replacement for Sunday, or is it just?
I think it's going to be a one man. I think it's going to be a one man band, man, for the hosting chair for me here, and then we'll have Alan on for the bets. We'll have Joe Bond in for the rankings. We'll have Jordan for the start sit, and Ike will be there. I'll talk him into it.
Come on, Ike. They need a third unbiased party.
Detroit Beastie, Chris Robin, who's in the chat. Him and Keith Fleming will be doing the DFS stuff this week too, so make sure to tune in for that. Looking at the next game though here that we got, guys. I'm really excited for this matchup here. The Houston Texans going on the road to take on the Green Bay Packers. Texans are getting 3 on the road. Game total of 48 points. Decent amount of points here to be had. Ike, who are you loving in this matchup, my friend?
I'm I'm sorry, I didn't hear a word you said because LaPlante sent a.
You guys are going at it in the private DMs. Man. You're sliding into each other's DMs live on the show. Grow up.
Live. We don't care. That's how it is. You know, we're sweet and sour.
Grow up.
So ask me again.
As you drink a beer.
Can we sweet and sour?
He
Mike
wants
and
your
Ike's
sour
awful,
pick.
by
And
the
what?
way. Ike, do you like the sweet and sour Mike and Ike's? Or no?
Dude,
hopefully
the
we're
sour
about
Mike and
to
Ike's are
candy.
fantastic. They're really good. They took them from Zowers, by the way. That's a whole nother conversation that I want to get into, but we'll.
That's what everyone
we'll
comes here for the candy talk, man. Screw the fancy football team.
We'll have that conversation in the DMs.
Yeah. If you want to DM me about some Mike and X and what they really should be, let me know.
Oh,
yeah, hit us up in the
I could be all
Discord
over
too.
you.
Yeah. Like, what do you got here? Give me your sweet pick. Who do you love here in this Texans Packers
Houston
matchup?
Packers.
Oh, I honestly, as long as he plays, it's Christian Watson or Jaden Reed. He's going to play too, but I really like that offense against Texans. I think they're going to do just fine. I also think that Romeo Doubs has a shot at being decent.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I kind of like the Christian Watson call, a little bit of a dart throw here because with only 2 teams on bye, you're probably not having to use him a whole lot here unless you're just battling with injuries. So I kind of like the Christian Watson going out on a limb there. As you guys continue to DM each other behind the scenes here, Mike, I'll kick it to you still. Who is your sweet play?
I gotta get my composure here.
Get it together, man. Figure it out.
It's Joe Mixon. It's Joe Mixon.
Why is it Joe Mixon?
In 3 games, in 3 healthy games, he's been averaging 20.6 fantasy points per game. Like, shut the fuck up. Green Bay is the 15th best matchup for running backs. It's about middle of the pack, but they do give up. It's easier to run on them than it is to pass on them. I believe they are top 5 in interceptions. I'll have to stat check myself. And he is seeing about 4 targets a game. Last week they eased him in. He only got about 46% of the snaps, but I fully expect to be up 60% again this week.
Yeah, I'm good with that call too. Who do you hate?
Ike. No, I hate Jacobs. Houston is the 5th toughest matchup for running backs. 4 running backs have over 100 rushing attempts this year. Jordan Mason, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, and Josh Jacobs. All of them have at least 3 touchdowns or more, except Jacobs. So, he is due for some positive regression. Maybe it happens this game. Maybe it doesn't. Let me tell you what happens if he scores a touchdown. He's RB7. He's top 10 RB, week 5. No touchdown, he's RB15 or worse. And, the RB15, he had 150
Sounds like
rushing.
Mahomes last week.
That RB15 finish, he had 150 yards rushing. And he doesn't throw the ball, mind you that.
I hate you guys so much.
Ike, you got anybody? Giggly bits over here?
I'm going with Josh Jacobs as well.
All right, real original. I got one here from Andrew. Yo, do I start Higgins, Tyreek, or Kareem Hunt at the flex? Wide receivers are Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jaden Reed, T. Higgins, Tyreek Hill. RBs are Kyron, Cook, Kareem Hunt, Bucky, Tracy, 12 team. Thanks again.
So it's you can only start 2 receivers if he's thinking about flexing Higgins and Tyreek. I'm looking at the starting receiver.
Yeah,
he's got to start 2.
So he wants to start either Higgins, Tyreek, or Hunt at flex, right?
We're getting ready to talk about the Dolphins Colts game. Is Tyreek Hill either of your guys' sweet plays by chance because of the matchup here against the Colts?
No,
but you gotta play him.
You don't have to, but I am. I'm going to play him here in that matchup against the Colts.
Man, I think I go Higgins.
I don't play there either.
I don't mind Kareem Hunt.
No, I don't want Higgins at all. Burrow's bad against Browns. I said that earlier. I'm going Tyreek.
Man, you're not helpful. We're not helpful. Sorry on this one, Andrew. As Jamie said, I'll pull up the comment before if you'd like. I can predict the future. T. Higgins will score more than Tyreek and Kareem Hunt this week.
You're saying some stupid stuff.
You can predict.
Hey! Here it is. Mike knows the future. I trust him.
Man.
Thank you, Jamie.
Oh, you guys are goofballs here. Next game, we got the Miami Dolphins taking on the Indianapolis Colts. We got the Dolphins getting 3 on the road here, led by Tyler Huntley. We got Anthony Richardson back for the Colts.
I'm curious.
More than likely.
You're the line guy here. How much does the line change if Joe Flacco's the starter instead of Anthony Richardson?
He doesn't know that.
I think he has a better idea.
They're probably favored by 4.5. I think they put it at maybe it might stay the same too. Who knows? But Mike, we'll start with you since Mike doesn't like to go first.
Come on, man.
I'm putting you to work tonight, man. You got to earn that paycheck somehow.
Love it, Dylan. Love it. Keep it up. Best show you've ever had.
No.
Spit it out, man. Come on.
You didn't even ask me a question.
I did. I said who you got.
It's the easy answer. Come on.
No, it's not the easy answer. I don't even know what team he said.
It's
Miami Dolphins. It's the Indianapolis Colts.
So, all right. Since Anthony Richardson is starting, you can't go with Josh Downs or Michael Pittman or any of the wide receivers.
I heard he's averaging 16 fantasy points with Flacco and 3 with Richardson or something.
I actually like Tyler Goodson. I actually like Tyler Goodson more than Trey Sermon this week. If you had to choose between the two, Tyler Goodson seems to be more into the pass game. At least last week he was. So that's who I would go with.
All right. I'm all right with Tyler Goodson here. If you're in a real deep, if you got problems going on at the running back position, I don't hate it. What do you got here, Mike?
I mean, Achan's my sweet player. He's the lead back, obviously, even when Mostert was healthy. But I think having Mostert helps him even more because he is not a guy that thrives off of a lot of touches. He's an efficient back. It's hard to be efficient when you don't have Tua and they're stacking the box. So, like, if you can get Mostert and Achan, I think you're going to get some better looks here from the defense to where Achan can take advantage of it. He's got 23 targets in 5 games. We love that. Pollard was RB15 last week against the Colts. I mean, let's be real, guys. Achan's better than Pollard, at least talent-wise. Would you agree? So, it's Achan.
Brody agrees with me. Fuck you, Mike.
Ripping you to shreds here tonight, Mike. I like it. Who do you got here as your sour play?
How?
Give the people what they want.
I mean, it's the sour play is, I mean, Tyreek Hill. It's pretty much all the receivers in this game. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Pittman, Downs. You can't start Tyreek Hill. I mean, you have to.
I told you.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's like if you're in an 18 league, you do not need to start Tyreek Hill at this point. All right, but if you're in a 10-team,
we're an 8-team league. We're always going to be an 8-team league.
Like the league.
Sorry, that was my fault that time.
If it's a 10-team league, he's a flex play. All right, he's a borderline flex. If it's 12 or deeper, you can't start him. So that's what I, break that down more. Jalen Waddle, you just can't start at all. And
he's dead.
And and with Anthony Richardson back and not Flacco, Pittman and Downs are dead too. Weeks 1 through 3, when Richardson was the starter, Pittman was wide receiver 58, 63, and 54. Downs only played week 3, and you guessed it, he was wide receiver 78. So this passing offense in this game is just going to be brutal.
Can I interest you in Alec Pierce from the Colts here as the deep ball threat with Anthony Richardson? We've seen it.
I mean, if you want to throw a cheap DFS,
if you want to hope for one target and one catch, yeah.
If you want a deep DFS start that's cheap, if you're playing in a 16 team league,
that'd be sweet.
If you're playing in a 16 team league, maybe a 14, but nothing more.
Does Anthony Richardson intrigue you guys any in this matchup? The Dolphins defense not good. Would you rather start?
I literally would rather start myself over Anthony Richardson right now.
I have to assume he's healthy, but
Ike or Richardson?
I don't know at this
The
point.
dude can't even throw a slant, man. I've seen it with my own eyes.
I still
It's
have
deep
to go.
ball or pass.
I still have to start Richardson. Like he's in that range of like Mahomes, though.
Well,
like
I mean, at least
of
you
what
thought about it.
he's in that range of Mahomes where he's a streamer option. He's not a must start.
Oh
He's
my
just
God.
a streamer.
He's in the range of Mahomes, huh? You put Mahomes that low with Anthony Richardson, huh?
Anthony Richardson has a top 12 performance more recently than him.
Fair
Like,
enough.
you got anybody as your star play, or is it just all the?
Obviously, you know who it is. It's Anthony Richardson. If he is playing, you don't want to start him coming off an injury for one.
So
For
much
two,
for that going outside the norm, Brody.
Come on. People would think, hey, Anthony Richardson's coming back. Let's start him because he can run. No.
I'm gonna start
Why?
because he's gonna get you more than 15 fantasy points this week.
What makes you say that? Brain, huh? Has he?
Matchup. I like it. Dolphins stink, man. They're all banged up. I think Anthony Richardson.
You do know he stinks too as well. Coming off
borderline
an
12
injury.
top 10 guy. You can stink and be good for fantasy.
The thing is,
No, you
the
can't.
thing is,
No, you
Justin
can't.
Fields
You
has
gotta
done
be
it all
somewhat
year.
talented. You gotta be
Justin
at least
Fields done
somewhat
it all year.
talented.
the Dolphins are good at stopping the pass. They're the second toughest matchup for wide receivers. Anthony Richardson doesn't need to pass. He can run the ball, which the Dolphins
But he's not
stop.
doing that.
Well, maybe he does it when you learn you can't throw against the Dolphins.
You know why he doesn't do that? Because he gets hurt when he does that. So he can't do it.
You're the only
He's
person.
made of glass bones. We've realized this because he got hurt again in this year, just like I predicted.
Predicting an injury.
And with
Yeah.
Jamie.
Because he is the most injury-prone quarterback.
And Jamie has a point. Kyron Williams disagrees. You can suck at football and still be good.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't know who Curran is, but I know a Kyron.
Come on now.
Coming at our listeners, man, like that. What's wrong?
How dare you? I'm going to come at you.
Next
Bring
game
it.
we got here. The
Check your
Detroit
DMs.
Lions. Good matchup here between the Detroit Lions taking on the Minnesota Vikings, guys. Lions getting 1.5 points on the road here. Game total of 50.5. This is an exciting matchup. I was talking to you guys pre-show. I think the matchup between the Vikings defense and their blitz happy scheme against Jared Goff is a fascinating matchup. I'm totally intrigued by it, so
Stellar
I'm curious to
vocabulary.
hear. Thanks, man. Thanks. I've been working on it. I've been brought.
Here we go.
Like, here we go.
We're regressing to the mean.
Ike, I'll just kick it to you since I got no words here. Who you got here? Who you love in this matchup?
I like Jared Goff. I know this is going to be weird because Brian Flores has destroyed most quarterbacks, but actually, Jared Goff has done pretty well against Brian Flores last year.
And you want to give him crap for Curran.
It's the same
Mr.
defense.
Lion.
It's literally the same defense. I think Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions are on a mission for some reason. They just wanted to choose violence against the Cowboys. Maybe they want to do the same against the Vikings, prove to them that they ain't shit. I can totally see it. Lions are on a warpath.
I don't know about Goff this week, man. I just kind of think the Lions are going to want to come out and punch the Vikings in the mouth with.
But you can't. You can't run against them either.
Clayton's calling you out, Dylan.
You're the producer, man. I was trying to let you do your job for
Oh,
once.
sure.
Clayton
Clayton says, "Take it easy, Uncle Rico." Ike.
like you'd rank Goff in the top 12, huh?
Rico.
Like
What'd you
you'd
say,
rather
Bill?
have Goff over Darnold?
Yeah.
That's an intriguing
Mike, let's say
one.
you. Yeah,
I don't think you can go wrong either way, but I prefer Sam Darnold over Goff. Just because if the Lions have it their way and we don't see this as being a shootout back and forth, Lions are going to run the ball. They don't need to have Jared Goff throw the ball. Sam Darnold, they just don't run the ball in general. We're talking about a
Healthy
team
Aaron
here.
Jones, no.
I mean, we got a healthy Aaron Jones. But Detroit is the third toughest matchup for running backs, which is why Aaron Jones is my sour play. And the Vikings are 22nd in rushing attempts. They just do not really run the ball. Yeah, they might throw the ball to Aaron Jones, but they're not going to be running the ball a lot. So give me Sam Darnold over Goff.
Thank you for not taking the low-hanging fruit on the sweet play of Justin Jefferson, because he's going to be in my DFS lineup, I feel like, this week. Sam Darnold's pretty cheap as well. I think Justin Jefferson has an absolute
I didn't even give you my sweet
this week. Who's your sweet?
I love that you guys think the Vikings
Dude,
offense
your
is going to be
sweet pick was
fantastic.
Jameis. Your sweet pick. That's because the Lions can't stop anybody through the air, Ike.
And you can't run against the Vikings.
And
It's
they
fine.
just lost. And
Go
they just
for it.
lost their best
You
pass
guys
rusher.
can keep going with your DFS plays. Go for it.
And they just lost their best pass rusher.
Yeah.
That's fine.
My sweet plays are the secondary receivers in this matchup. Jordan Addison and Jameson Williams. You're half right, Dylan. We're talking about two offenses that are top 5 in allowing fantasy points per game. Minnesota is 1 at 46.5. Detroit is 4 at 45 and pretty much a half. So Jefferson, Amon-Ra, they're low-hanging fruits. They're going to get theirs. But, I mean, Jefferson's not scoring 40-plus fantasy points, I don't think. I mean, maybe. And he just takes it all away from Addison, but I doubt it. And the same goes with, Amon-Ra. So Jameson Williams is going to have some as well.
All right. Ike, you got a sour play, or are you kind of with Mike with Aaron Jones here?
I think the sour play would probably be Aaron Jones, Ty Chandler. I don't think they're going to have much of an effect in this game.
And newly added Cam Baker.
I love that. Albert, that's a good stat pull because Jared Goff has struggled against the blitz most of his career. So that's good to see that he's improved to the point where he's actually leading the league. So like that bodes well for your point. Albert's got your back there with that. I don't know if the volume's going to be there this week, but
I think it goes back and forth. I think that's a good. I mean, I could be wrong. Ask Chris, but I think that Lions Vikings game is a point.
Would anybody be surprised if this game is like a 17-10 game where there's very little fantasy performance?
Because it's divisional, so no. But at the same time, like these are two offenses that are humming, and the defense is like the better defense right now is the Vikings.
Yeah,
but I think the better offense right now is the Lions.
Yeah.
So like,
I think
the Lions are going to want to
control
control the ball. They're going to want to keep their defense off the field here. I think that's good.
Yes, I mean,
I don't know. It might disappoint fantasy owners in this game if you have both players from both teams. Jefferson might not perform what you want. Goff might not. Same with Amon-Ra and all that. It could be low scoring.
At this point, Jameson Williams is going to catch a long touchdown every week. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much.
What do we got here for Gary Singletary or Tracy here? Give me the more talented back. I'm going to give me Tyrone Tracy. We've seen what he can do, man, when they give him touches. Dabble's come out and said that he's going to be a bigger part in the offense. What do you got?
I'm going Singletary still until I see a little bit more.
I want to set.
We've seen Tracy without Singletary. Let's see him together.
I want to set both of them if I got the chance, Gary. If you got the chance, set both of them.
I don't know if he can, man. That's why I was asking you the question.
That's why I'm saying. If you got the chance, set both of them. But if not, it's Singletary just because we when he's healthy, he's been the guy. Yes, Tracy's going to be more worked in, but we know what the guy is already, and that's Singletary.
Brody says, just let Gibbs work finally.
Gibbs.
That's never going to happen.
No. They love David Montgomery. David Montgomery is a good football player. He's the physical guy. Dan Campbell's all about that.
They're both going to be top 30 running backs every week. Good luck deciding what one's going to be higher.
So you're playing both, man. They're essentially the same guy for fantasy purposes who do two completely different things. They literally just alternate drives. It's just good. It's like a Alvin Kamara.
I wouldn't worry about either of them. They're both starting in your teams.
Are they a better tandem? Like if I wanted to break this up, I should have had the stats pulled. Do you guys like the Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery? Do you think they're a better fantasy duo than what we saw from Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram for those few seasons? I think it's pretty close. Mike, you're muted.
Mark and Alvin were kind of insane. Alvin was a rookie that year and putting up insane numbers.
Yeah, Alvin put up better numbers than Gibbs. So they're close. But
It's close. Yeah.
Timing.
Oh, we got another one here. Addison or the giant RBs? Would
That
you guys
was
start Jordan Addison?
that was what I was saying. If you
All
could
right.
sit those running backs, give me Addison.
I'd do that. Give me Jordan
Give me
Addison there.
One
Oh,
of
those
those.
two. Next game here, we got a battle of NFC East teams. We got the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New York Giants. Eagles favored by 3.5 points on the road. Game total of 43. We got Malik Neighbors returning to the lineup for the Giants. Happy to hear that. I know Brody's happy in the comments here, listening to that. Malik Neighbors obviously a huge part of this Giants offense now and moving forward. And Devin Singletary, we've talked about it a little bit. He should be back and healthy in this one as well. Mike, we'll start with you this time, dude. Where are you going to go?
I'm picking the low-hanging fruit on this one. It's Barkley. Revenge game. Giants, their D-line's a little banged up here. Dexter Lawrence, he did have a full practice. Kayvon Thibodeau, I don't believe had it.
He's out.
He's out. So, it's just a little banged up here. Barkley wants the revenge game. Giants, I mean, it was shown on HBO, guys, on the Hard Knocks. They did not value Barkley. You think Barkley saw that? You think Barkley's agent saw that and then sent it to him?
I mean, he was there.
Well, that's Barkley wants
He
to get
experienced the whole thing, actually.
Yeah, so it's Barkley. Oh, come on! Come on now.
Coming at you, man.
I know. What the heck? For each time you come at me, I'm just gonna go at Ike harder.
I'm just glad I'm escaping free right now. I've done nothing wrong. I'm good. I've done nothing wrong. I'm just hanging out.
Well, who you got here, Ike? Who's your sweet play?
I'm going Wandale.
Saquon. Thank you. Wandale.
No, Wandale. He seems to get most of the targets in this offense. I do get Malik Neighbors is back. That's fine. But coming off a concussion where you're off a week and a half of playing or practicing too, it's not great. Something seemed to be wrong in his head. So Wandale might be the primary option. Plus, Slayton is questionable with an injury. So it could be limited for both Slayton and Neighbors, which gives Wandale more opportunity, and Tyrone Tracy as well, and Singletary.
Slayton goes back to being irrelevant once again.
Yes, as long as Neighbors is full playing.
Who do you hate here, man?
For this game, Michael Plant's not gonna hate it or not gonna like it, but it's Jalen Hurts. He's been struggling. I don't know if you can trust him.
Defense
his weapons back.
Too.
He's cool. This guy's weapons back, but does that make him better, or is he just not that good of a quarterback? It remains to be seen. So I'd like to see him do well, but I think this is a week where you can sit him over players like, I don't know.
Whether
Patrick Mahomes or no?
I was just going to say, whether he's a good NFL quarterback or not, he's a better fantasy quarterback than
That's
Patrick
a good one.
Mahomes.
That's a good one. Mahomes or Hurts.
Nobody has that matchup, where they're deciding that unless they're in Dynasty, and it's Hurts. Hurts is the answer.
I'm still going Mahomes just because I think he can do more damage if he puts it all together over Hurts.
So that means that, since you said you would play Geno over Mahomes, would you play Geno over Hurts?
I didn't say Geno over Mahomes. I don't. That was Dylan.
You said Mahomes over Geno?
I don't even think I answered that question, to be honest.
Well, way to cop out.
But still, I'm playing Mahomes over Geno. I'm playing Mahomes over most quarterbacks just because I think he can still be fine.
Guy, guys. Anybody listen to this, don't listen to Ike.
Just wait till he actually puts up your quarterback one performance that we've been
on the bench. Let it be on the bench because his last, I don't know how many, but you'll go back to week 12 last year, hasn't been top 12.
Got based off the matchups, man.
I mean, he hasn't had a top 12 performance this year either.
Who's your sour play here?
It's the reason why I said to Gary, get those Giants running backs out of there. It's Singletary and Tyrone Tracy. One, they're just going to eat into each other. They're going to cannibalize each other because they're both healthy, and like we said, Tyrone Tracy is going to get involved more. Eagles are a tough matchup on the ground. They are the 12th toughest matchup on the ground. They've only allowed 3 rushing touchdowns, and they are allowed the 26th least amount of rushing yards so far. So get those Giants running backs out of your lineup if you can.
All right, heading into the afternoon games, we got a poo-poo platter of 2 out of the 3 games here. We got the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Raiders getting 7 points on the road. Game total 43.5 here. Mike, we'll stay with you. Who do you have as your sweet pick?
Hey, Brody, you can make fun of me for picking the low-hanging fruit, but in a game that this, is this doo-doo, it's Kyren Williams and it's Brock Bowers.
I thought you were going to say Brock Bowers.
I mean, it's both. It's Brock Bowers and Kyren Williams. These are literally probably the only 2 guys you should be starting in this game. I mean, maybe if you're down bad, you can get
Cooper Kupp's coming back, man.
I mean, if he actually plays, I was assuming he wasn't going to play, but if he plays,
Matthew Stafford here too. I don't have an issue.
I wouldn't.
Hold on there. Hold on. Slow your roll on Matthew Stafford there.
Yeah. Slow your roll.
Yeah, it's not like he's gotten.
As a QB2,
an elite wide receiver back or anything.
Elite wide receiver who's coming off another injury, which he has come off another injury the year prior, which has come off another injury the year prior to that. So, do you really trust Cooper Kupp to help Matthew Stafford right now?
I do,
but in the lineup, 100%.
If Cooper Kupp's in the lineup, I love Cooper Kupp, but I don't love Stafford.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp, sure, he can get 10 targets, 8 catches for 80 yards. That's fine for a fantasy day, but
most of
Matthew Stafford, no.
Most of the yards are probably going to go to Kupp and Kyren.
All right, who's your sweet play?
I already did mine.
I think you said Bowers.
Okay, who's your sour play? I don't think you elaborated at all about Bowers, but go ahead.
I thought, he said Kyren, I said Bowers as well, and he said that too. But I think Bowers the past few weeks is getting all the targets. Jacoby Myers is also out. As we know, Devontae Adams is out. So if there's anybody going to get targets, why not be this guy?
Yeah, it should be Bowers. Yep, I'm with you. Who you out on in this matchup?
Zamir White. That's an easy one.
You could just sum it up. You could just sum it up. Everybody on the Raiders, pretty much, besides Brock Bowers. That's pretty much what it boils down to. I mean, we can make it short and sweet. Like I said, if you're down bad, you can go with Alexander Madison because he seems to find the end zone. But he's touchdown dependent, and that's it.
All right, keeping it short and sweet on that game. Looking ahead to the other poo-poo platter of a game, we got the Carolina Panthers taking on the Washington Commanders. Panthers getting 9 points on the road. Game total 43.5. We'll just kick it right to you, Mike. Who's your sweet play here?
You're gonna love it because it's probably gonna answer your question of what running backs you're gonna be starting this week, and it's Tony Pollard and Brian Robinson. Carolina is the number 1 best matchup for running backs. One of those 2 teams allowing 30-plus fantasy points per game to running backs. Week 4, when Robinson was healthy. Granted, Eckler was not. Robinson did dominate the stats, 63% to Nichols, 38%. McNichols, 38%. And then week 3, when Eckler was healthy, it was split 76% to Robinson, 72% to Eckler. So Robinson is the lead guy here on an efficient offense in a great matchup. Smash Brian Robinson.
Yeah, hopefully he's back to his healthy self here and takes a bigger increase of the workload rather than what we saw the last time he was out on the field. He saved his fantasy day with 2 touchdowns, but just didn't see the volume because he was dinged up. Hopefully he's feeling better, but I'm with you. Hopefully we get some sort of reports that he's close to 100% because, yes, it's absolutely smash spot for Brian Robinson, who, just for a reminder, we love that guy on this podcast here. So, but Ike, we'll kick it to you here. Who are you in on?
Does anybody know if Deontay Johnson is out or not?
It's not looking
Nice.
good, but he's questionable still, but he didn't practice today.
All right, so Commanders are bad against the pass. If Deontay is out, they're going to have to throw to somebody. I kind of like Chuba Hubbard a lot because they'll dump it off a little bit. He'll be able to run a little bit. But actually, Xavier Legette can, I don't know if win you the week, but he can help you like manage it. I think he should be the top target in this offense. He's been doing pretty well lately. So if Deontay Johnson is out, Xavier is not a bad option.
Yeah, and it seems like he's the red zone threat here in this offense. And Andy Dalton likes to look for him. He's a big body receiver, man. Too fast. And I love his touchdown celebration riding the horse. It's good stuff from Xavier Legette. Just an interesting cat, man. Who do you hate, though?
Can't talk for shit, but hey. He's cool as hell.
that accent is deep. That thing is.
It's an interesting one for sure, man.
Yeah, it is. Yep. Who do you got here? Who don't you like in this?
Jane Daniels. I know it's Carolina. It might be too easy of a game for him to where like they get up early and he doesn't really have to do much. He might get saved by a rushing touchdown or something like that, which could help you out. But like you guys said, it could be a Brian Robinson type game. Maybe they get Austin Eckler involved a lot too. So I don't know. They might not have to do as much as you expect him to. You
better watch yourself, man. He's the messiah to everybody right now. Jaden Daniels.
Apparently.
Everybody loves that guy. There might be people waiting at you. Might want to check your window out right now if there's pitchforks and flames out your window.
Yeah, because apparently the
Simpsons
dude's
meme
next
and stuff.
fucking
Yeah,
god.
he's great, man. But what do you got here, Mike?
Calm down, Bear fans.
We got beef.
Yeah, we do.
Of course you do. You haven't had a QB this good in ever. You know, so
it's 6 games through, and the Bears have the second best quarterback in the class, according to ESPN, according to the Washington Commanders fans everywhere. It's pretty astounding, if you ask me. But go ahead, Mike.
I mean, got the better record.
It's the same.
Aren't they the same? And
Yeah.
all Jane Daniels is awarded for is his 75% completion percentage.
My bad. Better
Cool,
wins.
dude. You can
Better
complete
wins.
passes.
Better wins. You want to give, Caleb
They haven't
credit.
beaten anybody either, man.
Oh my God, you act like the Packers have beaten people too, Michael Plant.
We're not even talking about the Packers. Calm
I
down.
know that's where you're getting at, all right?
No.
Man,
The Bears' 4 wins are against the 1-4 Titans, the 1-4 Rams, the 1-4 Panthers, and the 1-5 Jags.
The Commanders beat the Browns, who are really good. The Commanders beat the Cardinals, who are really good.
Yeah, they're so good.
The Commanders beat
the Bengals.
the Bengals,
Who are just awesome 1-4,
Yeah,
by the
Better
way.
teams.
Really good.
Better
Who-
teams. Better
2 and
teams.
5, whatever they are.
Better
the Commanders beat the Giants on 7 field goals.
Yeah, huh?
With
Weird.
Malik Neighbors.
Commanders
That was with
lost
Malik
to the
Neighbors, too.
Buccaneers. They haven't beaten anybody either. That's the point.
Shut it. You're the one that brought it up. You're the one
Just
that brought
wait
it
till
up.
next week when Caleb
If you're going to complain about
matched
the
Jane Daniels all over the field like he's a little boy.
I hope the Commanders win that game. I really do. Just as a Packers fan. Just as a Packers fan.
What do you got here,
it's
Mike?
Shane-
I think
it's-
you're on
it's-
You're
here.
scared
it's
that the
Jane-
Bears are going to take your division away. King of the North.
It's
King
Jane
of the
Daniels.
North.
I took my guy. 5 out of 6 weeks, Shane Daniels has been a top 12 scoring QB. This will be a second game that he will score outside of the top 12. It's like what I alluded to. I just don't see him needing to do anything special here. They don't need him to do anything special here to beat Carolina. You can just run all over them. That's why I love Brian Robinson.
Bears versus Commanders next week. What the heck?
We'll get a
King of
chance.
the North,
Scott
these
meme.
ghosts.
Can't
Yeah,
wait.
fucking touchdown ghosts.
Down goes.
7 touchdowns in the past 2 or
That's the
3
best-
games.
That's the
Call
best
me.
you got, Uncle. That's the best you got, Uncle Rico, huh?
Next game here, guys. We got the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Super Bowl rematch. We've heard it all already. Chiefs getting 1.5 on the road against the 49ers. Chiefs lose this game. It's all my fault for taking them this week. Michael Plant just letting you know if your sour plays Mahomes, you're getting muted because I'm tired of hearing it. So
You might as well mute me now.
We'll kick it to you first. Who do you got here? Give me your sweet play because I don't want to hear it from Baldy over here.
Oh man, I hope this hits so bad and it helps me win this week against the Plant. It's the X-Man. It's Xavier Worthy.
Give me something. I'm here for it.
All
Give me
vibes.
anything.
It's all vibes. That's all he's got on this one. Is all vibes.
Hold on.
You're just over here. You're just out here vibing.
He has one wide receiver, one finish, one wide receiver, two finish. He's coming off his career high targets, by the way. And he has four total touchdowns in 5 games. They like using them in the run game. They like using them somewhat in the passing game for the deep ball. So if the Chiefs want to score, it seems like it's Xavier Worthy, not going to lie. So that's who I'm going with for my sweet play. And I hope to God he just absolutely shits on you, LaPlante.
Who's your sweet play?
He's just straight out here vibing, man. He's got one wide receiver, one finish, and it was week 1. It was
that's what
I said. One wide receiver, one finish, and one wide receiver, two.
I don't think so, Tim. Check tape.
Okay, you know, you may be right on that one. And put some context behind his season high targets of 6. Six targets. Juju had 6 receptions.
For a guy with his game-changing speed, 6 targets is enough. Plus, like I said, he also gets rush attempts.
If that's enough, 6 targets are enough. Why do you only get 25 yards with those 6 targets?
Didn't he also get rush attempts too? So what's his total touches? Like 8 to 10?
He got one rushing attempt.
All right, so 7. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
I mean, no, he got 7 opportunities, only 4 touches.
I'm okay with that. He's a game-changing player for Mahomes that seems to be the only way the Chiefs can score right now.
I mean, that's not true. Kareem Hunt.
He came in 1 week and scored 1 touchdown, meanwhile Xavier Worthy is scoring multiple touchdowns through the air and through the run.
2 touchdowns through the air. That barely makes it multiple.
That's multiple.
You guys done yet or no?
I mean, my sour pick is Mahomes, so you can mute me.
Who's your sweet play? You didn't give me that.
It's Kittle. Kansas City's the best matchup for tight ends.
That's his player.
No, it's just, I mean, Jawan Jennings is ruled out. Brandon Ayuk's probably going to get the Trent McDuffie treatment. And I mean, Debo he's kind of the low-hanging fruit here. So I'm not going to go him. But I think Kittle's the best matchup because of the tight ends. The next highest when it comes to, tight ends allowing points is 14.9. That's pretty much 3 fantasy points more allowed to tight ends when tight ends play the Chiefs. Give me a tight end every time they play the Chiefs.
All right. We got Sunday Night Football, guys. They got the New York Jets taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jets favored by 1.5 on the road. Game total 38.5. That must be the Devontae Adams effect here with the Jets being favored. That's interesting.
Or the Russell Wilson news.
Don't say that, man. How about the Steelers stuff today? Mike Tomlin keeping the quarterback discussion in-house. 10 minutes later, George Pickens does an interview saying Russell Wilson's making his first start this week. Just good stuff. Who keeps putting a microphone in front of George Pickens? Why they keep allowing that?
They know that he was full of shit, man.
That's on Tomlin. He shouldn't be allowing media access to Pickens anymore.
He's something here, man. But I will stick with you here. Who do you got as your sweet player here? And you're gonna say Devontae Adams, aren't you?
I know. Me and LaPlante both talked about it earlier before the show. I think it's Devontae Adams. I know that's kind of weak to say, but I think he's just going to get
targeted. It's not weak to say because, I made the argument for Amari Cooper why he's kind of like a sit this week, if you can, is because you don't have a chemistry with the QB. Like, we're talking about a wide receiver here that has chemistry with Aaron Rodgers. I don't care how long they've been separated. Since 2020, they have the most combination of touchdowns thrown to each other. Like, you don't need that week like Amari Cooper's going to need. So, I
can totally see double-digit targets, multiple touchdowns, if that's possible. I also think might help Brees Hall a little bit for like the running game, so they won't be able to like press the box as much. I think the worst is Garrett Wilson. He kind of loses out on a bunch
At
of
least in
targets.
this matchup. No, in this matchup, Garrett Wilson's going to be the loser.
For now, you got
because
to
of the
think that
matchup
Garrett
against the
Wilson
Steelers.
loses a significant amount of targets for the rest of the year. That remains to be seen. Maybe it opens up more for him with Devontae there, but as of right now, I'm a little low on Garrett.
I bet you a case of beer, Garrett Wilson outperforms Devontae Adams the rest of the season.
I'll take that bet.
You too, like?
Like, what are we talking? Like, finish as wide receiver?
From now on, Garrett Wilson scores more fantasy points than Devontae Adams as long as they play the same amount of games.
All right, so you better check what the fantasy points are right now because Devontae Adams has missed 2 games already.
Right. From this point on, Garrett Wilson.
All right, so from week 6, from week 7 to week 18, I'll take Devontae over Garrett.
I'll take Devontae over Garrett too.
All right, I like it. We'll make sure to clip this one here.
Put it on the board.
You can't say that, man. Don't sue us, ESPN.
It's not trademarked. I mean, what do you want? If it is,
what do you got here?
Come at me. What are you gonna do?
LaPlante, your sweet was Devontae Adams too, right? For everything I said. So just go ahead, give me your sour play here. Who don't you like?
Well, Brody thinks it's Garrett Wilson.
Don't tell me Garrett Wilson. I don't like that.
It's not. It's
Devontae's going to draw all the sorry to go on a little bit of not even a rant here. Devontae's going to draw all the number 1 coverages, man. That's why I like Garrett Wilson so much. He's going to see the number 2 coverage all the freaking time. Maybe he sees some more time in the slot as well. That's why I like Garrett Wilson.
I feel like you're a Garrett Wilson owner just trying to talk yourself into sanity.
I do own him in a few places, but that doesn't really.
You're welcome.
Okay, really this is why you don't, like have so much, feelings towards Mahomes is because you don't own him anywhere either. It's just I'm having an unbiased opinion about it.
I think if anybody, it helps Brees Hall more than anybody. They're going to have to not stack the box now, even remotely, because you have to go against Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson, which leaves Brees Hall 5 against 5 on the line for running,
right.
Which
like
the Jets want to do.
Hall the rest of the season. Yeah, 100%. I told you last week that I like Brees Hall this week because it was going to, or last week. That
yeah, and he put up 20
going to get in the ball.
Points or whatever. So yeah, you're right on that.
Just because they got Adams doesn't mean they're not going to give Brees Hall the ball.
Yeah, exactly. He is still the top, I'd say, 2 target or option in that game now. I think Devontae might take number 1.
Devontae's 1, Garrett's 2, Brees is 3. Garrett's still going to be involved. But back to
Garrett and Brees can be debatable. Yeah, I get it.
My sour pick is George Pickens. Jets are the 4th toughest matchup against wide receivers. Pickens plays mainly on the outside where Sauce plays. Jamie, you can check me on that one, but Sauce will probably be seeing a lot of Pickens and vice versa. Plus, I mean, Pickens just spent 6 weeks trying to get chemistry going with Justin Fields. Like, do you think he has chemistry with Russell Wilson right now? I mean, do you think Russell Wilson will be able to extend the plays like Justin Fields to be able to?
They've been working together, man. That's what George Pickens said in his interview.
This O-line is not good right now, though, and the reason why they've even been in games is Fields has been making the O-line look, So Russell Wilson, like behind a bad O-line, he can't run. George Pickens is a deep threat. I mean, maybe he can catch a slant to the house, but that's literally what you're hoping for. So if you got the chance to sit Pickens, sit Pickens.
It was such an interesting choice to choose this game, to sit Fields. The Jets get absolutely throttled on the ground.
By Bo Nix.
And you can't throw the ball against this team. Well, you can, but it's a little tougher to throw the ball against this team. They're elite secondary, and you make the switch to Russ, who can't really move anymore, behind a bad offensive line. That's I'm a Justin Fields guy. It just feels like this wasn't really the right time, to be honest with you. But
no, I've
heard was their bye week.
Good question. I'm not sure either.
That's probably the time they should have done that, but
I also I like the Steelers running backs here to just put a cherry on top of that as well. I like Najee Harris. I like Jalen Warren in a pinch here. I wouldn't be surprised if Najee finds the end zone again here. But Mike, who's your sour play? Or yeah, you already gave me your sour play. Ike, who's your sour play?
I would also have to agree with Pickens. I would also say Russell Wilson too. First game back, you're not really sure what he can do. It could be kind of brutal for him. He might not be game ready, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I hear you too.
Which would help your case for the running backs because they might have to lean more on the running backs because
if they want to win this game, they're going to be relying on the running backs if they want to win this game. That's how the Steelers are going to do it, in my eyes. They're not going to do it on the arm of Russell Wilson. That's just my thought.
You never know, man. I've seen Russell do some crazy shit.
Yeah, we have. We definitely seen some weird shit this year too. Looking at Monday Night Football, the games. We got two again here. We got the first one with Baltimore Ravens taking out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ravens favored by 3.5 on the road. Game total of 49.5. Vegas likes this one for a ton of points to be scored here. Ike, we'll start with you since it's easy. Who you got?
It's gotta be Zay Flowers.
Medium play, Zay?
Oh, it's turning into big plays, Zay, man. He's been fantastic the past few weeks. There is absolutely no way you can keep him out of your lineups right now. It's a fantastic matchup. I would love to have him on my team and in DFS this week.
Where you at, butthole Mike? You don't like Zay Flowers?
I do this week. He's a matchup dependent guy, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can throw the ball, and that's how you beat the Ravens. Is you throw, you don't run the ball, and they can't run the ball. So this is a good matchup. This is one of those good recipes.
He's gonna be throwing a lot, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like, and
unless Ravens can control the clock with Derek.
You can run on the Buccaneers, but it's not easy. I mean, Baltimore will be able to run the ball, but at the same time, I think Tampa Bay, can score points here to where they need Zay, just like last week. So I'd say for me as well.
Don't be surprised if you see another 8 to 10 targets again, man. Yeah. He is the number one option in that game.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Who don't you like in this one? Mike, we'll start with you here. Who's your sour play?
Well, I pretty much laid it out for you in my sweet play. It's the Buccaneers running backs. If you got Rachaad White, Bucky Irving, and Sean Tucker, they're all just going to eat into each other. We got the report that they're going to go with the hot hand. Who's the hot hand? We don't know. It could be Bucky Irving. It could be Sean Tucker. It's probably not going to be Rachaad White. But in this matchup against the Baltimore Ravens, you cannot run against. They are the fourth toughest matchup against running backs, so sit every single one of those running backs if you can.
How bad is Rachaad White? Like we just saw,
he's good pass catching back.
Yeah, I understand that, but as a ball carrier, how bad is he? We just saw Tucker and Irving just look so much better behind the same offensive line. They just look so much better between the tackles. But anyways, I'll kick it to you here.
I don't know. It could be like a confidence thing, but like LaPlante said, the running backs for the Bucs aren't great this week. I kind of do like Bucky Irving more than Rachaad White. Sean Tucker should not be on your radar unless you're in a deep league for now, until like there's an injury or something like that again. But I like Bucky Irving more than Rachaad White. I think Bucky Irving could be fine. I wouldn't say anything spectacular, but he can be.
That report came out, and they said they're each going to get a carry early, and whoever has the hot hand, that's who they're going to feature more in that game. That's
against this matchup.
That's something for a coach to just come out and say.
Bucky.
I mean, in this matchup, there could not even be a hot hand against the Ravens.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So I think that sour play could be all Buccaneer running backs. They're going to want to throw a lot. Maybe you see Baker throw 50 times.
Are we panicked on Mike Evans at all, or are we still good with him?
No, he was injured last week. You're fine.
All right, love to hear that. Last game of the night, and guys, to be honest with you could probably just watch the first Monday night game and be cool with this. This one's a little bit of a clunker. The Los Angeles Chargers, Arizona Cardinals. Got the Chargers favored by 2 on the road over the Cardinals. Game total of 44. Marvin Harrison Jr. went out with the concussion last week. Been seen at practice last couple of days, non-contact jersey. Still hasn't cleared protocol yet, so it'll be interesting to see if he gets there. If he doesn't, man, fire up all the Trey McBride. We saw what he did last week with Marv out.
I was going to say Wilson, but that's fine too.
Michael Wilson was awesome as well. Mike, you're kind of nodding, shaking your head. Yes, no. What are your thoughts here? Who's your sweet play? We'll go ahead, kick it to you to start. Somebody from the Cardinals, or are you going with the Chargers offense?
I'm just nodding my head because some people think I'm on the spectrum. No, it's J.K. Dobbins, my sweet player. Last week without Gus Edwards, he saw 25 rushing attempts. That was second in week 6. You know who week 1 was and why I like him? Kareem Hunt with 27 rushing attempts. It's just what the Chiefs want to do. It's what the Chargers want to do. They want to control the clock. And they want to control the time of possession. You know, Gus Edwards on IR. Kamani Vidal will probably get worked in a little bit more, but it's J.K. Dobbins. Smash him into your lineup.
All right, man. So just so we're on the same page, I hit you guys up with this question earlier. So far, you gave me J.K. Dobbins as a love play. You gave me a Tony Pollard as a love play. You gave me Brian Robinson as a love play. That's 3 of the running backs. Who was the 4th one that I was trying to figure out? I don't remember that I was trying to put in my lineup. But then that's something, man. That's something. Who do you got here?
I'm not really liking most of this matchup. But if anybody, as long as Marvin Harrison is out, if he is in, this completely ruins everything. But I like Michael Wilson. I think he's been just fine. He's been double-digit fantasy points 2 of the past 3 weeks, 4, something like that. So I like him as long as Marvin Harrison is out. If Marvin Harrison is in, whole different story. So be wary of that. Something you have to monitor for sure.
Michael Wilson, hashtag kind of good at football, man. It seems like he impresses me. His ability to go up
better than Greg Dortch.
Yeah, I think I think that's safe to say he's better than the Deutschman. But Ike, we'll keep it with you here. Who's your sour play? Who are you out on?
Marvin Harrison Jr. If he plays, I don't see him doing much because they're going to want to keep him limited. I mean, dude, 1 hit again after coming off a concussion like that.
He's not going to play then. If that's the case, he's not going to play then.
Your other running back was Monty.
Yeah, that's who it was. Yeah, I don't know if I like that call from you there, man.
Well, I mean, if he plays, you have to sit him.
I don't know, Mike.
Are you really going to play him if he is playing?
If Marv is cleared through concussion protocol, even though the NFL's a joke about concussions, I've already gone into a rant about that. I think, yes, you play.
Absolutely not.
You still play Marv.
I've seen enough concussion. Dude, I do the injury thing. I've seen enough concussion shit where if they're playing that next week, they're literally garbage.
All right.
So, I mean, if you really think fucking Marvin Harrison is fine, go for it, man. Play him.
You got to start him. It's rough out there in the streets.
You don't have to start him. Come on.
It's rough out there in the streets. Would you rather start Marvin Harrison or George Pickens?
Marv.
I do like Russell Wilson and George Pickens, but I go Marvin Harrison just because I don't think George Pickens is that good either.
All right, Mike. Finish it. Nope. Finish this out here. Who's your sour player in this chart?
It's the opposite end of the backfield here. It's James Conner because they want to control the ball. I don't think the Cardinals, they're going to be able to sustain drives here. If Marvin Harrison plays, maybe James Conner has a better week than I'm anticipating. I don't know if I'm 50-50 on the fence if Marv's going to even play, which this does affect James Conner. So James Conner is my sour play of the week.
Jamie, how about that, man? Good job by you on that. You started Michael Wilson.
Hopefully he listened to me because I said to bench him against the Saints.
Tyler, what's going on, man?
Come on.
Start Jordan Love or Jalen Hurts this week. Give me Jordan Love.
Yeah, I will take Jordan Love in that case.
I'm tired of always saying that guy's name.
You love Love.
Seems like it. What do you got, Ike? You going to go clean sweep with Love or you like Jalen more? Not letting you cop out here without answering this one.
I'm going to go with love since you said that the weather seems to be fine. I know weather in Green Bay is brutal. It could have been brutal, but it seems to be fine. So I'm going.
It was slippery last week. It's not supposed to rain this week.
All right, Tyler, all love there, man. But guys, that wraps up the show. Hopefully you guys liked it. If you've been listening this whole lot, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Really do appreciate it. Clayton said 70s this weekend, baby. Let's go here. A nice October weekend here in Wisconsin. Gotta absolutely love it. Guys, like I said, please hit that like button. Please subscribe on your way out. Make sure to check us out on the Sunday Social. I mentioned it earlier here, starting at 10:30 Eastern time. Alan will be here with his best bets. Then I'll have Joe Bond with his fantasy rankings, who's been a top 3 ranker on the season so far on Fantasy Pros consensus. Jordan Schultz and Ike Bonney will be here for the start-sit portion of the show, along with myself.
Come on, why are you putting me in that?
And then we got Chris Robb and Keith Fleming the last hour of the show, winning you a bunch of money in DFS, ideally. Jamie will be there on Sunday talking with us for sure. Jamie, we appreciate that. But guys, that wraps things up for Mike and Ike. The candy shop is closed. See you guys.
Oh my God. Yeah. Let me show you what I